This little clip is really telling us from an interview from a couple days ago. Let's take a look.
But the challenge has been there a long while. When I got elected in 2015, so 7 years ago, one of the things that we put forward, and I remember saying this a whole bunch of times, um, attack politics, divisive politics, negative, stirring up of hate and fear and differences. The dirty secret is they work.
Yeah, they work. And he is the king of divisive politics. So here he is telling us that they do work. Of course they work, which is why he used them. The only trouble is that is there a reaction? When you use these divisive politics, do you end up paying for it? Is it sustainable? Well, let's hear what he has to say.
Even back in 2015, they work to get you elected.
Sure, yeah.
You can do that. You can mobilize and get elected. It's just what we're seeing is that once you've used those methods to get elected, it becomes incredibly hard to govern responsibly for all citizens in bringing people together and getting big things done. Because once you start, churning up anger, it just feeds on itself. And if you're not continually throwing fresh raw meat at it,
Right.
It will get away from you entirely.
Feels like it's gotten away from him entirely. His party has not to be very happy with him. I'm sure they're not very happy with him, as well, we're seeing a huge rise in the pendulum swinging. Pierre Poilievre's his popularity, I think, with the mainstream of Canada is increasing rapidly. It is interesting times, let's put it that way. We see the civil service putting out articles where they're speaking against the way that he reigns, which is really from the top down, not allowing them any kind of independence. So people are not happy. This is within his own party, civil service, of course, the opposition, of course, people who love freedom all around Canada. I mean, that goes without saying. But things change when it becomes politically impossible to continue along the path that you're on. And I think he's noticing that. He's noting that divisive politics, throwing raw meat in the form of human sacrifice, only goes so far. And I think we're at the end of this journey. My feelings. We will be going live tomorrow night, Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. Highly appreciate your time. The Justin Trudeau brand seems to be in trouble. Mainstream media actually bringing that up. I'm amazed to see it. Mainstream media, that's right. CTV News, many other organizations starting to, let's say, change the narrative. Don Martin, the fall of Justin Trudeau has begun. I'm amazed to see this in CTV News, considering that not too long ago they were, completely pro-Trudeau. So what's changed? You tell me. Don Martin, contributor. The Justin Trudeau brand is in trouble. The 2015 Fresh Prince of Politics with his celebrity hair and rock star aura is heading into a 2022 summer of inflation-driven Canadian discontent as a faded force of personality in need of an exit strategy. The National Post. Calls from mayors, businesses to ditch ArriveCan app grow as peak summer travel season looms. Foreign travelers will still be required to use the app at land borders, and that's killing tourism, says mayors and travel industry. Are things changing? Paul Tellier, a former top public servant and corporate CEO, says the long-term trend towards centralized decision-making must be reversed to restore trust. So this is a fellow who's very high in the civil service, Paul Tellier, all-powerful PMO. Mistrust is destroying the public service. The Institute on Governance has put together a paper, Top of Mind, answering the call, adapting to change. Today, a plethora of negative forces are sowing the seeds of social polarization and eroding trust in democratically elected governments. The pandemic has accelerated or potentially magnified these trends in Canada. More recently, citizens have been moved to individual and collective action outside of government processes to effect change. That sounds to me like Freedom Truckers Convoy, the freedom movement in general. That's really what it does sound like to me. It's people are trying to make change outside of the government processes because they've lost faith in the institutions. And there's been a recent poll that also shows the same. Abacus data. Millions believe in theories in Canada. Different theories, different facts. Let's put it that way. Belief in theories. Big events, wars, recessions, elections controlled by small groups secretly working against the rest of us. 44% agree. Much of our lives are controlled by plots hatched in secret places. 41% of people agree. A group of people is trying to replace native-born Canadians with immigrants who share their political views. 37% of people agree. WEF, group of elites, have a secret strategy to impose on the world. 20% agree. Probably, definitely, probably true. Possibly not sure, 37%. Secret societies control the world, 22%, definitely, probably true, 31%, possibly not sure. Gates uses microchips to track and affect people's behavior, 13%, definitely, probably true, 21%, possibly not sure. This has got to be scary for government officials, for people who are high up in the Liberal Party, as they see what wreckage that Trudeau has wrought. And then, of course, we have the fact that now federal employees will be able to go back to work regardless of their medical status. So salaries of suspended bureaucrats will absolutely not be reimbursed, federal minister says. With all due respect to Minister LeBlanc, our policy grievances on behalf of workers on leave without pay are a legal issue, not a political one. What this seems to me is that we're going to see a major payoff. Okay, the unions are pushing for a major, major payoff. And the public sector union in question is the Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada, PIPSC, and also the Canadian Association of Professional Employees, CAPE, and the Public Service Alliance of Canada, PSAC. They're all filing policy grievances against the employer's mandate for federal bureaucrats. So this is going to get really, really rough. This is going to cause more pain for the federal government. Then, of course, the Toronto Star reporting that Justin Trudeau appears to contradict the top minister over why the Emergency Act was used. And if you've seen any of the footage from the inquiries, then you know that it is a real cluster F. Let's put it that way, to put it mildly. And, of course, you've got Trudeau over here who has been beaming his image into the House of Commons because he is let's say, indisposed. Not so much that he is contradicting, it's the fact that it's being reported in the mainstream news. So does this signal a change in the winds, of the political winds for Trudeau's power? Well, you tell me. And just to add a little bit of salt into the wound, #1 Amazon bestseller in Canada is How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, a book for kids. So, I mean, that's just a little bit more salt into the wounds, right? I think we're witnessing a change. That's what I think what's happening. The winds of change. The pendulum is swinging. In December 2021, I was not at all positive about where we were going as a country. Now I think the pendulum is swinging, and this is, of course, Bill C-11, and they've got a couple tricks. Okay, they're going to try to online censor our speech there. There's got a few more tricks left, but I think time is running out. And I'm going to be covering Bill C-11 in the next video, really looking into this online censorship bill, which has actually passed in the House of Commons, but not the Senate. So we're going to be looking at that over here at the War Campaign. Special Committee on the Declaration of Emergency, DEDC, has been going on. We're on issue number 10, episode number 10 of this circus, let's put it that way.
CBC, without any explanation, without apology, without any clarity, retracted their story regarding the funding of the protest. You were aware of that?
Again, I'm not speaking for the CBC. I'm speaking for
I'm not
the
asking
Ministry
you to
of
speak
Finance.
for the CBC. I'm asking, were you informed that the CBC retracted the story, the false story, about foreign funding donations to the convoy?
Again, Mr. Brock, I don't believe that the CBC is being interrogated here. I believe it's the government of
Just
Canada.
answer the question, Minister Freeland. Were you aware, yes or no? It's a simple question.
I don't have the article before me, and I'm not here to answer questions about the CBC and
The
its
Deputy
reporting.
Prime Minister, the most senior cabinet minister, is not prepared to accept whether or not the CBC retracted a false story?
I don't speak for the CBC, sir.
You, as the most senior cabinet minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, relied upon that initial story from the CBC and shared your concerns with Canadians.
The hot seat, she's on the hot seat. So where's the government going? Where's the Trudeau government going? I think it's circling the drain. I don't think the NDP are going to do too well either. I think there's just too much backlash. They push too far, and we're at the limit here. And I'm not going to let up. We're not going to let up. I know many freedom-loving people are not going to let up until you can't let up until there's nothing left of this tyranny. We will be going live tomorrow night, Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. Highly appreciate your time. Hail, brethren. H for honor, A for accountability, I for integrity, and L for loyalty. Thank you.